Captain's Log, Stardate 504-2021. We have discovered a unique wormhole which will allow different away teams to visit several locations in various times and places in the universe at once. Starfleet has used this opportunity to send us to explore these destinations and report back with our findings. The reports will be uploaded to the Federation database, and hard copies, when available, will be lodged in the Scott County Public Library. In order to accomplish this mission, several members of our crew have been beamed to these various locations, and I am eagerly awaiting their reports. This is your captain speaking with this month's motivational video. Space travel can be monotonous, with each day blending into the next with little differentiation. Always the same duty station, always the same shipmates, always the same crew quarters, and seldom do we receive shore leave. I know most of us can relate. This ongoing monotony can result in a condition known as space fatigue. As your captain, I must remind you to take precautions against the stresses of our day-to-day space travel and engage in some relaxing activities outside of your assigned duties. As an example, I enjoy quality time with my brand new pet Tribble, Quark. Isn't he cute? Tribbles enjoy our companionship, and spending time with one has been shown to reduce stress in humans and other life forms. Except maybe Klingons. So remember, spending happy time with a Tribble means less space fatigue for you. Captain out. Checking in now with Communications Officer Stephanie, who is beamed to a previously uncharted planetoid to accompany the crew of the Nostromo, a commercial towing space vessel. They are investigating an unknown distress signal. What is the mission status, Stephanie?
Well, Captain, the nature of this unknown signal is rather enigmatic. It repeats itself every 12 seconds and definitely seems to be coming from an intelligent life source. The planetoid the Nostromo just successfully landed on is approximately 1,200 kilometers in diameter. It has a 2-hour rotation and some gravity. 2 Nostromo crew members don their life gear to investigate the signal's origins on foot. The weather is currently stormy on the planetoid's surface, and visibility is poor at best.
Thank you for that update. Any news from the 2 Nostromo crew members?
Just a moment, Captain. What? I have an update, Captain. Crew members Lambert and Kane have returned to the Nostromo. Kane is unconscious. It seems some type of life form has attached itself to his face. Just... what? Proper quarantine rules were just overlooked. Kane should have been decontaminated and quarantined for at least 24 hours for the safety of the other crew members. Crew member Ash disregarded protocol and let them in. Between you and me, Captain, it's obvious this isn't a disciplined crew.
They likely have not received the same training as you, Lieutenant. Stay alert. What else can you tell us about this life form?
Well, Captain, it certainly is strange. It is spider-like and has leathery, pale skin. It has securely fastened itself around crew member Kane's face and neck. I speculate that this life form is feeding on this man's oxygen somehow. It seems parasitic, so one must speculate what it intends to do with its host. I have a feeling it is dangerous, however. Requesting permission to come aboard, Captain. Since this mysterious signal's origins have been verified, my mission is completed.
Of course, Lieutenant. Stand by.
Roger that, Captain. I wish this crew the best of luck. They will need it. Only Warrant Officer Ripley seems to have her wits about her. As always, all reports are available in the Federation archives. For those without access to these files, please check out the rest of this fascinating story as a downloadable ebook through Scott County Public Library's Overdrive. File name is Alan Dean Foster's Alien, the official movie novelization. Communications Officer Ferraro, signing off.
So, Your last report said you've been following the activities of one of this area's leaders?
Precisely. It seems like everything interesting about this place revolves around him. He's the mayor of Terminus's capital city, creatively named Terminus City. The planet is small and bereft of resources, but it's the only source of scientific understanding in the galaxy.
And how would you compare their understanding to our own?
Slightly lacking, but not by much. But that's not the interesting part. On the surface, none of this place is interesting. There are no alien species, very few unique flora and fauna, and again, the technology isn't quite as advanced as our own. But
What? Speak up!
the other planets near to Terminus treated science like religion and hold the guy I'm following, Salver Hardin, as if he were divine. The scientists are priests, and the kings of the other worlds are divinely ordained by the gods. It's all fascinating. Oh yeah, one more thing too. Everyone's name here is pretty great. Salver, Seth Cermak, Prince Regent Venus. Great names. I get excited each time I meet someone new.
Sounds like a fascinating place. Is there anything else you need to report?
Well, I'm waiting in front of a vault to open up to supposedly hear from a hologram of the guy who founded this place. The planet is Terminus, but the whole operation is called the Foundation. He was a psychohistorian who plotted this all out mathematically, and if this mayor I've been trailing is right, he'll show up again to reassure them that of the Foundation's overall directive. Sounds a bit dry, but at least he'll be a hologram. That's about all I have, Cap. But I have a guy writing up an official report titled Foundation. We'll write up a few more as well, I'm sure.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I see the initial report, Foundation by Isaac Asimov, is here in the Federation database, as well as in the Scott County Public Library in a hard copy. How quaint. As well as an ebook. Lieutenant Lincoln, do you have anything to report?
Lieutenant Lincoln reporting back to the USS Bookends. After beaming through this wormhole with success, I've been able to touch base on this vastly expanding, yet albeit primitive to us, space station sometime in what seems to be a parallel Earth's past.
Sounds fascinating. Have you made contact with any of the life forms on board? Do they seem willing to be of assistance with the mission?
It took me a little while to find a native on board willing to help me, but eventually I was able to find common ground with a young native passing from Earth. He was kind enough to show me a chronicling of their history through logs they call the Expanse. This is their first log called Leviathan Wakes. They allowed me to use this mining station's common room to understand it better and learn from their history. It seems to be only the initial volume in a long-standing history of its universe's events, each of these logs written by an important figure named James Holden.
How would you describe the societal situation in which you find yourself?
At this point in the universe's history, there's still much civil unrest among Earth and Mars universe, and is full of potential danger, military distrust, secret corporations, and corruption even in the space station's own police forces.
It sounds like this civilization could use some assistance to move towards a more peaceful way of life. But remember Starfleet's prime directive. We cannot ourselves interfere with their evolution.
All seems dim, but Holden and with his friends and Detective Miller both seem to have what it takes to help the people of this world come together with the people and do what is right in the end.
This chronicle, Leviathan Wakes, Book 1 of the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey, will be logged into the ship's archives, and a copy will be placed in the Scott County Public Library for all those who do not have access to Starfleet records. For those with access to Hoopla, there are a number of graphic novels available that contain records of interest to those studying the Expanse. Checking in now with Science Officer Amanda, who we have beamed to an inhabited planet of Class M type with a desert climate. Lieutenant Amanda, I understand you had quite a light show upon your arrival.
Yes, Captain. When we arrived, there was a space battle going on between what the locals call a Star Destroyer and a smaller diplomatic vessel. The fighting seems to have subsided for now, although the area we have set up base in is still heavily patrolled by soldiers, armored soldiers that we call stormtroopers.
What can you tell us about this civilization?
There appear to be 3 different types of humanoids that call this planet home. One type are very short and seem to scavenge the desert for a living. They are called Jawas, and they sell androids and mechanical parts to the local moisture farmers. There's another group of larger humanoids that live in the nomadic bantha herders out in the desert wastes. The city dwellers and farmers call them sand people. We don't know much about them as they mostly keep clear of the cities. Then there are the humans of the settlements who live on the farms on the outskirts of town. They work as laborers in the spaceport of Mos Eisley. The spaceport is home to many different types of peoples from all over the local galaxy. It's kind of a rough place. In fact, I overheard a resident just today describe it as a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Have you made contact with any of the locals?
Well, we ran into one of the locals in a cantina in Mos Eisley. It was a bit hard to hear over that terrible cantina music, but I got the impression that he was already looking for a transport out of there. Something about his father's lightsaber, a rebellion, and a princess needing to be saved. It's all in the official report.
Good to know, Lieutenant. Captain out. This report, titled Star Wars by George Lucas, is available in the Federation archives, but since some of us are stuck in the 21st century, we have placed a copy in the Scott County Public Library, where it can be accessed in book form or as a downloadable ebook. Oh, my, these tribbles are becoming a nuisance. This time I'm checking in with Lieutenant Kelly. Kelly, how is it on Aqua, is it?
That's correct. The planet was formerly known as Mars, and it's been terraformed to support life.
Terraformed? How did that work?
Yeah, it's an interesting process, maintained by 2 groups of people. The first are known as salamanders, and they oversee the planet's climate and atmosphere. And the second are known as gnomes, and like their name, they do live underground, and they are in charge of maintaining the planet's gravity. There was a bit of an incident early on in the days of terraforming that caused the planet to mostly be covered in water, resulting in the main modes of travel being air bikes and gondolas.
Gondolas? That sounds like Venice back on Earth.
The city I was stationed in, Neo Venetia, is based on the Venice of Manhome, or the original Earth. And they've got 2 unusual jobs. Sylphs are those who use their air bikes for deliveries, and undines are specialized gondoliers who function as both transportation and expert tour guides.
I'd like to know more about the Undines.
So, undines all fall under the purview of the Gondola Association, which is made up of representatives from each of the Undine companies of Aqua. Each Undine company is presided over by their own presidents, who all happen to be blue-eyed cats, who are seemingly as intelligent as humans, though unable to speak. Cats appear fairly important in general in Aqua, as even the old Kate Seed legend of the Scottish legend from Manhome is said to make his new home in Neo Venetia.
Have you made any connections among the people there?
Yes, so in my investigation, I mainly followed 3 aspiring Undines, Akari, Aika, and Alice. They all practice together. They're actually all 3 the proteges of the 3 water fairies, who are known to be the top prima Undines on Aqua. Undines must start out as a trainee known as a pair, so they wear a pair of gloves. Once they pass a test, they're promoted to a single, and they only wear 1 glove. Once their mentors decide they're capable, they are rewarded with the title of Prima, as well as their own special title.
It sounds like a most rigorous course of study.
Akari is the most interesting of the bunch. She's actually originally from Manhome, and somehow she keeps encountering different parts of the 7 mysteries of Neo-Venetia, which include the Endless Waterway Hall, the Carnival Casanova, a Mirage coffee shop, the Galactic Train that runs in the night sky, the legendary Lady of San Michel Island, a street stone of misfortune, and Kate Seeth himself.
It sounds like a beautiful and interesting place. No wonder their tour guides are so revered. I do like cats, but for now, I'm sticking with tribbles. And your report is now filed in the database?
There was actually a problem transferring the report to the database. Thanks, Wesley. But a copy of each of the 7-volume-long report was delivered by shuttle to the library and is available for perusal there.
That was a fast shuttle. The first of a series of reports titled Aria, the Masterpiece by Kozui Amano has already arrived and is lodged in the Scott County Public Library manga section. Checking in now with Science Officer Julia, who was apparently accidentally shifted into an unknown region of space after investigating some unusual ruins at the original landing site. Am I reading this correctly? Your initial report says the ruins could have been associated with Atlantis?
Yes, Captain. While exploring some ancient ruins, I know it appeared as though I left my team, but actually I was transported to another realm of the universe. Upon my arrival, I was informed that there was actually another human being, but only one other human being, in this region of space. He was an archaeologist, and he accidentally went through the ruins just the same way that I did. I never actually got to meet up with this Max person, though. It seems that his crew is quite notorious. They were always hopping from various ancient ruins in order to earn a living and then also to, well, return some of the relics to the people who own them. But they were also on the run from the local gangsters and their minions, as well as the law. Quite dangerous, actually. I should tell you, Captain, I don't think we should really return to this region of space at this time. The area is under the control of the Visank Imperium, who conquered the region and seem to have this idea of superiority. They have tight control over the region, and they seem willing to destroy just about anything in order to keep their control.
And your giant space turtle friends? Are they some sort of transport animal?
Please, Captain, no. These are the Drell. They are the only species large enough to challenge the Visank, and they're given some autonomy because of that. They're also known friends of the human Max, with his wife, who's a soldier class Janae, and their pilot, Wheel. Ma'am, I believe that Wheel is actually a member of an alien race that we think of as the original Atlanteans.
Should the safety of Earth be a concern?
Only if we travel back there, Captain. I don't believe that Max actually knows of a way to get back, but, oh, Captain, some of the footage that I was shown, his wife, Lara, is an amazing warrior, and she's able to manipulate her battles through song.
That will do, Lieutenant.
Her people were displaced by the Visank as well, Captain. I should say the Visank are known warriors, and they're able to do battle in space.
Good to know, Julia. Considering the potential for interstellar conflict, we will keep your report, entitled Annihilation Aria by Michael R. Underwood, stowed online in the Hoopla app, which will require an initial login through your Scott County Public Library card and PIN number. Oh my goodness, we're having some kind of tribulation here.
Captain, are you all right? Did something happen?
Everything's just fine here, Lieutenant. If you too are dreaming of a life in service with Starfleet, I encourage you to begin your education by studying the careers of two of our greatest captains, Captain James T. Kirk and Captain Jean-Luc Picard. As children, we all marveled at the adventures of Captain Kirk and his crew aboard the Enterprise. In fact, I have such fond memories of these tales that when I finally achieved a command of my own, I had the bridge on my ship bookends remodeled to match the one on that famous ship. If you would like some background on Captains Kirk and Picard, I urge you who are in the 21st century to check out these autobiographies, which have been capably edited by David A. Goodman and can be found in book form at the Scott County Public Library, and in the case of Captain Kirk's book, is also available in downloadable form. Whether you prefer the command style of the brash, assertive young Captain Kirk, or the educated, refined Captain Picard, you will enjoy reading about their historic roles in some of the Federation's greatest accomplishments. Sick Bay, this is your captain speaking. I need you to organize a spay-neuter program for Tribbles.